For a long time, I thought I was doing everything right when learning languages. I used multiple resources, I tried to learn vocabulary perfectly, and I wanted to understand everything before moving on. But looking back now, I realized that this was actually the biggest mistake I made while learning languages. When I started learning languages, I believed that the best way to learn was to do everything perfectly. I thought I needed to use every resource I could find, learn every vocabulary word perfectly, understand every grammar rule completely, and never move on until I felt ready. So I kept collecting resources, textbooks, apps, websites, flashcards, and every time I found something new, I thought maybe this is the thing that will finally make everything work. But the result was not what I expected. Instead of making faster progress, I often felt stuck. I spent a lot of time trying to do things the right way. I reviewed vocabulary again and again because I wanted to know it perfectly. I switched between resources because I thought maybe another one would work better or work better together, and I wanted to finish them all. And sometimes I spend more time organizing my learning than actually learning. I felt productive, but in reality, it slowed me down. The real problem was that I treated language learning like something that needed to be perfect. But languages don't work like that. You don't need to know every word. You don't need perfect grammar. And you definitely don't need the perfect resource. Languages are messy. You forget words, you make mistakes, you understand things slowly over time. And that's actually normal. At some point, I started to change my approach. Instead of trying to learn everything perfectly, I focused more on progress. I stopped worrying about knowing every word. I stopped switching resources all the time. And I allowed myself to just move forward, even if things weren't perfect. And surprisingly, that's when learning started to feel easier. Not because it became simple, but because I stopped putting so much pressure on myself. And to be honest, sometimes I still fall back into that old pattern. Sometimes I still try to make things perfect. Sometimes I still want to use too many resources, all resources I can find. But that's part of the process. We are all human, and learning something new is never perfectly linear. One thing that actually helps me with this is my deck of language learning. It allows me to explore different resources and ideas, but within specific limits. So I can still satisfy that curiosity to try new things without completely overdoing it. What helps me now is remembering that process is better than perfection. Even small steps still move you forward. But I'm curious about your experience. What's the biggest mistake you made while learning a language? Let me know in the comments.